Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Kata and I'm talking today about things that I have been pondering for myself and for my own life. And that is, what am I manifesting in my life and how am I manifesting those things? And, does my perception have anything to do with what I'm manifesting or what I'm not manifesting in my life? And as I kind of sat and pondered this, I really came to the conclusion that there's actually um, it's kind of like steps. The way that we manifest it works in steps. So first it begins with your perception and how you perceive something. um, what you perceive is what you believe, is what I wrote down, and what you believe is what you create. So that being said, um, we certainly, I think, don't realize sometimes that our perception is really our viewpoint, how we see something, how we look at something in life. And so our perception very much influences our beliefs, right? And from that perception, we formulate beliefs within ourselves, right? About people, about situations, jobs, whatever things. Um, and then what we believe is what we end up creating. So our beliefs are obviously become our manifestations, and they become our manifestations because it is something that we believe. A little hair there. So we end up truly manifesting things for ourselves that we believe to be true. But the question is, do you believe positive things to be true or negative things to be true in your life? And this is what I pondered in my own life to really kind of understand how I've gotten to where I am right now and what is it that I've truly created for myself, and how consciously or unconsciously I have created those things in my life for myself. So I just made some notes here that I'm going to read from um, to help kind of clarify what I'm trying to say here, and really to help you understand what I've realized in my own life in terms of how things show up for me or don't show up for me. So what we are shown from the outside world, and from the outside world I'm talking here through like regular media, through social media, through the people that we interact with on a regular basis, like friends, acquaintances, family, and from our direct environment, all of these things are influencing the choices that we make on a daily basis and the perception that we have about all of those things, all of those people, on a daily basis. So, what exactly is perception? When you think about it, how you perceive something is how you see something or someone, and the opinions that you formulate as a result of perceiving that individual or that thing or that condition or whatever. So your opinions turn into belief over time if you continue to recycle the same thoughts. And something I thought about significantly for myself of how do I perpetuate certain things in my life by continuing to have the same thoughts. I think the reason why I'm been pondering all of this is because I've been reading Dr. Joe Dispenza's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself book. And it's been really, really eye opening in terms of helping me to realize how we manifest, how we view things, how placid actually the brain is, and how we're able to really formulate and change and manipulate our brain into a significantly higher state of being, just simply by what kind of thoughts we have and how we choose to see things or perceive things in life. So the opinions end up turning into belief over time, right? Because perception, again, is how you see something, someone, and the opinions that you formulate as a result of seeing that something or someone. And your opinions turn into belief over time, especially if you continue to recycle them. Now, as you add feeling to those thoughts and to those to those same thoughts, and opinions, that is the feeling is the component that really adds. That is needed to be added in order to manifest. So it's not enough just to think about things, as we all have already experienced in life, right? Because you could think about winning the lottery, but if you don't feel like you're going to win the lottery, you're not going to win the lottery. So feeling is a huge component of manifesting in our lives and creation. And without the feeling component, we really are not able to manifest things into our lives that are good for us. Like, we actually manifest a lot of negative things because we feel negatively about them, right? And that's how we kind of perpetuate a lot of negative to continue cycling in our lives. Now, you're manifesting your beliefs, and So manifesting the beliefs and contributing to your daily experience is what really happens as a result of having those same thoughts and then having those same feelings about those same thoughts. So for example, like if we choose to focus on all the negative things in the world, like if you're choosing to focus right now on all of the turmoil, all of the like the war and all the different things that are happening globally, the famine, the systems breaking down, all the different things, if we continue to focus on those things, then what we're going to do collectively, all of us added together, is we're going to perpetuate those things by believing those states of existence to be true. But I think that we have the power to change the external environment and to change our world by believing and perceiving it in a more positive way and choosing not to focus on the negative things that are currently happening in our world. Like, I'm aware of everything that is happening in the world, but I'm choosing not to focus on it because I know if I do, then all I'm doing is I'm contributing, I'm adding to that energy of it existing. Therefore, I am perpetuating it. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's very, very important that we start to shift our mindset and to see the power that we have to change the world through shifting our minds and through shifting our focus from negative situations and experiences in our world to more positive ones. And I hear a lot of people say, well, yeah, like that's so easy to say, but in reality that's not how it works. But that's exactly how it works, because that's what I've come to understand in my own life, is that I'm constantly creating what I'm feeling and how I'm feeling about certain things in my life and certain experiences. And that's exactly what I keep creating in my life. So if I'm going to choose to focus on negative things, then I'm going to perpetuate those things in my life over and over. And I'm going to attract experiences into my life that are going to validate those feelings. Again, whether those feelings are good or bad, you're going to have experiences that are going to validate those feelings, because that's how universal law works. What you put out is what you get back. You put out negative energy, you're going to get a negative experience back, right? So if you have, for example, very negative thoughts or low vibrational thoughts about yourself, about your about your worth, about your value, then you're going to attract people into your life and scenarios into your life that are going to prove to you or show up for you or come back to you as a negative experience, that are only going to validate what you already believe and perceive about yourself. So I've been really working on this within my own life, to not project out, negativity, to not project out self-limiting beliefs and thoughts. And it's hard because, or it has been hard, it's actually getting easier now, but it's been really difficult to shift out of that mindset, especially because you're so ingrained. Those thoughts become so ingrained. And as I'm reading Dr. Joe's book, the breaking the habit of being yourself, I'm realizing that the brain is truly able to adapt to really anything that you program it to adapt to. So if I start to program my mind into having more positive thoughts about myself and really seeing myself in a very different light and writing those things out and really feeling into that and saying, yeah, this is who I am, and you start to infuse all of those feelings with love, then I'm going to start to have a really significantly shifted perception of myself. I'm going to look at myself from a much higher perspective and start feeling more love and more connection to myself. And therefore, I'm going to start creating experiences in my life that are going to help attract people, circumstances, and situations that are going to validate how I'm feeling. So if I feel good and I feel confident and I feel healthy and I feel abundant and prosperous, then I'm going to attract those exact things into my life, because energy attracts energy. What you put out is what you get back. And when it comes to truly what is happening out in the world, what I really wanted to mention here today is that we have the absolute power and the capability to change and shift every single thing that is happening on this planet right now that is bad and that's negative. Like, I'm talking hunger or poverty and like wars and all these different, and suffering in so many different ways. What if we collectively began to shift into really truly saying, you know what, we're done focusing on all of that negative stuff, and we're ready to start focusing on some really good things. And what if we mentally created this brand new world where there was peace, and we were visualizing that peace and feeling, peaceful within ourselves, and projecting that peacefulness out into the world? What would we actually create then collectively? Like, what I'm trying to really get across here is the immense power that humanity has to shift every single obstacle that we're currently facing. But that shift can only truly happen is if we start to reprogram and recreate a new world within ourselves, and how we see the world. Can you start looking at the world and start looking for the positives in the world instead of all of the negative things or all the bad things that are going on? And, watching the news is not going to be supportive of that, because it's only going to show you all of the bad things that are happening in the world. Unfortunately, the news doesn't show us all the wonderful things that are also simultaneously happening in the world. So it is up to us as individuals. If the news ain't going to do it, then let's do it ourselves. Why don't we focus individually and collectively on a brand new world that we want to see? What kind of world does the average human being want to see? If you go out there and you ask anybody, 99.9% are going to say the same thing. And what that same thing is that we all want peace. So why don't we just create peace within ourselves and start seeing that peaceful world within ourselves and imagining it and picturing beautiful lush greenery and picturing our forests being restored and picturing clean water and picturing and visualizing people hugging and supporting one another and being compassionate, right? Like, we create our world. This is what I've really come to understand. And it's like I've always known this, but it's just sinking deeper and deeper. This knowing is sinking deeper within me. And I am choosing to accept that knowing more and more. And I'm choosing to accept the responsibility and the power behind that choice, right? Because it is personal power that you need to use to determine whether you want to see a world where there is peace and harmony and love and compassion, or do you want to focus on a world that is crumbling and falling apart? But it's not actually falling apart. It's just that all of the old systems are breaking down that no longer serve us, and they need to break down because that's the only way that change can truly come. So just as to kind of wrap it up here, the last thing I want to say is that choose what you perceive. So by that I mean choose what you watch and consume in terms of media, social media, and what you believe. So choose what you perceive and what you believe wisely, because it becomes your reality. It becomes all of our reality. And I think if we focus less and less on, like I said, all of the negativity that they show on TV and all the stupid shit they show on TV, and we start focusing on movies that just have a great story and have more love and compassion, and movies that are not so dark, like, we need to focus on the light if we want to experience light in this world. So choose what you perceive and what you believe wisely, because it does absolutely become not only your reality, but also mine. So I will leave you with that short message for today. Thank you so much for watching, for liking, and for subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.